Jeffery Wood. I'm a chiropractic doctor. I live in Los Angeles, California, and I have some partners. We have a couple of primary care medical clinics and a vascular surgery group in LA. I had actually been doing some neurofeedback and some biofeedback several months ago, and I had learned, as I experienced some very positive results from that, I began looking into other aspects of it and came across Biocybernaut on YouTube. And the benefits that I was getting from the biofeedback and the neurofeedback at the Drake Institute in Los Angeles was beneficial. But once I began reading about Biocybernaut and the in-depthness of the program that they had, I couldn't only begin to imagine that the intensity of the training here would certainly eclipse the benefits I was getting from the type of training that I was getting at the other clinic. And that's what kind of led me to learning more about Biocybernaut, looking at many videos and reading many articles on Dr. Hardt and the process. And it certainly, over the few months that it took me to finally be able to make the arrangements to get here, proved to be very true. I had high expectations. I was hoping that I would be able to have the same benefits from the other people that have actually come through the program before us. Statistically, I was sure that I would at least meet the minimum or reach the minimal or the median benefits that the other people did, but I was certainly hoping that I would actually be able to do better than that. Well, the Alpha 1 process it starts off as you're going through the process, you're learning the different techniques that you're going to be using in the future alpha levels as well. Because we did the Alpha 2 program, we were able to spend more time in the chamber and be able to work out some of those processes a little bit more intensely and grow a little bit faster. But the first 3 to 4 days, you're really just training and getting things down. But even with that, you're making phenomenal progress from the day-to-day changes that you see in your graphs, as well as how you're starting to feel about yourself as well. At least that was our experience, and my experience. I was always planning on going further if we could once we did complete this, and within the first couple of days, I knew that we would be probably signing up for more. And like I said, the results have just been fantastic for us and phenomenal there. And after going home, we took a 2-week break between the first alpha and the second alpha, and that even in those first few days at home, I could tell there was a difference. My clarity, my decision-making, my confidence, and some of the areas of where I had questions before were a lot clearer. I didn't have as much vagueness, and I knew without a doubt basically that we would want to come back and do more of this. But the alpha state to me right now that I've been developing over Alpha 1 and now enhancing in Alpha 2, it's just a very, very strong sense of clarity. I'm able to think about things much quicker, and I'm not questioning myself. The alpha feeling is a very profound feeling. There's a state in alpha when we're doing the work, we get a lot of this work done, we go into another state called basking. And basking is where you're just kind of sinking into the alpha state inside the chamber. It's easy to know that you're there because the tones are letting you know that you're there. And after a while, you begin to coordinate or integrate the sounds that you're feeling, the feeling that you're feeling with that, and you recognize that you're in a different state, and that was what that alpha state is. And at first, you don't really recognize it very clearly, but over time and over sessions in the chamber, it becomes more and more clear that that's what it is. I had many breakthroughs, to be honest with you, but one that just jumped out in the chamber that I was in right now was, for instance, I was doing a forgiveness on myself and forgiving myself. And it also involved me when I was forgiving myself, not just as my adult self, out of nowhere came my little Jeffrey at a couple of different ages, where some of the work that I was just doing in forgiveness involved that, but I was able to reach inside my inner self and be able to connect with my inner children in a different way than I've ever been able to do before in therapy or meditation or things of that nature. You're able to instantly be there with them and connect with that person inside you, yourself inside your brain, in a way that it's just like you're in real time from the past as well as the future. And it's very easy to integrate that trauma that happened to you at an earlier time. You can feel that you're integrating that young child into your evolving, grown up self that you are right now. This alpha state is a product of this process, of this treatment, of this work. It's something that I've never experienced before. Because I experienced the effects of the alpha flow and the alpha state, it's had profound effects on my anxiety, my stress, in a way that it just melts it away. And it doesn't come back. Now, not to say that it fixes everything immediately, it doesn't. I mean, when I go back into the real world, things would still assail me and hit me just like they always do, but it doesn't affect me like it did. And it's almost like you got a suit of armor on that you're walking out with. It gives you much more protection and allows you to also, at the same time, as these things are coming at you, these negative energies and from all different ways, that energy hits you and it winds up being transformed almost into something else. Yes, you still will pick up the stresses and those things can still affect you, but they don't last as long. I wouldn't hesitate. I mean, you've got nothing to lose. The 2 trainings that I've been through now, the 2 weeks, the people that also were doing the training with us, I've yet to see anybody who didn't have a positive, favorable reaction from day one. There was no regrets from anybody. In fact, there was a lot of relief from everybody in the sense that they all knew that they had made a good decision and the right decision. It just really gave me hope that there was something out there that would actually be able to allow us to take us to another level, not just for how we feel, but more importantly, on a consciousness level, how to open up the mind, how to open up the heart, how to make these other connections that we've been looking for and we're starving for because we just don't get that in our society. For me, this is a way for me to ground myself and it's bringing me back. At the same time, it's allowing a natural process for me, the spirituality growth that I never had before, to develop and open up. And for me, that's the most important part of what I'm doing on this journey. To be able to get to that level, I have to do a lot of clearing. A lot of this forgiveness work is the key for all of that, for any of this stuff. And it just happens to fix all the emotional issues that we have as well that prevents us from actually being able to kind of reach that higher level of spirituality and consciousness. And I'm looking forward to continuing our experiences here and our growth here so that we can maximize those other aspects of consciousness that we're personally striving for. I can imagine everybody's going to come here maybe for different things, but I think once you get here and you have this experience, it may open up your mind to other things that could exist for you, and they've got plenty of different levels for you to attain and go to, and for those people that want to go to another level and to continue to progress their own personal and spiritual growth.